y'all doing?
Hanging in there.
Right. Hello. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. How about yourself?
Alright, she's wet.
I think she spilled the water again.
Coming in.
Did she drink like a bottle of water in the car?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the reason why.
Hush.
So what you up to?
You don't
I'm
look
gonna
all
let
that
them
good.
in.
Huh?
But you don't look all that
Hey,
good.
hey, hey, hey.
Slow now. Relax.
Man.
You probably smell his dog.
Yeah.
He's got a puppy. Well, I don't think a puppy, but
She's seen it. She's seen it. I got bad news. Reason why I come by here.
boy, what's wrong?
Daryl Plump. Stage 4 cancer.
Really?
Say that
He
again.
just found out, or he had it for a while?
Just found out.
What kind? I mean, colon or?
It's in his lungs.
Huh?
It's in his lungs.
Oh,
Who? The puppy?
no. It's a friend of Dennis's, and when we were, I hate to hear that.
He's in Jackson Hospital in the
Where's Jocelyn?
Jackson, the Baptist General up there in the very top floor. You know, they put you up there. That's basically hospice.
Yeah.
You've been in there now about 10 days.
I hate to hear that.
Usually whenever it reaches stage 4, usually that's already in your blood system, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I think after 1 or 2, that's it. It just goes fast.
Cause Betty, my mother, whenever they diagnosed her, she didn't live but about 30 days after that.
Yeah. Doing that?
I
No.
guess that's about the worst kind that you can get.
Shit. Huh?
I guess that's about the worst kind you can get once it gets into stage 4, huh?
Yeah.
And stage 4 means it's already,
Well, I don't know. The doctor says after 2, you're going to be battling it. You know, because stage 3 and 4.
well, what stage is yours?
But every doctor is different.
Oh, really? They have different opinions?
Yes. They do different
How
tests.
you doing?
They do different stuff.
You remember me? Do you remember me? Huh?
And then it's
Annie, do you remember me?
no.
No, I was gonna go by here at the graveside. I ain't got down there yet. With Thanksgiving and everything coming up, I was gonna ask if y'all had heard anything from Lana. Well, ain't
Yeah,
no
they
need,
did. They came.
ain't no need me asking you that whenever they're right here. How you doing? You doing okay? You being shy?
Yes.
She hadn't seen me enough to.
Huh?
Probably hadn't seen me enough. Plus,
Want something to drink?
no, I'm good.
Come here.
Have y'all been back down there at the graveside?
I ain't been.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
he
I
has. And Sabetta goes.
I was kind of surprised when I pulled up. I seen your car. I recognized your car.
Yeah, why are you surprised? I visit here all the time. Wait.
Well, it's a pretty good jump, ain't it? From here to Huntsville, ain't it?
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours, yeah. About the same distance between my house and
Yeah.
Huntsville as it is, because it ain't. I can get here in like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, it takes this like Donna's distance. Mom, it would take us.
But I done something. I went to church this morning. A guy invited me. I wound up going to church over in Brownsville. While I was over there in Brownsville, have you ever stopped over there at that Heritage Center? Tina Turner? They've got a heck of a nice Heritage Center.
Really?
Yeah. And, you know, she died about 3 years ago. She was over,
Well, honey, she was in her.
huh?
She was 70, 80, 70 something.
Yeah, she'd probably be about 82, 83 now.
Cause for a while, she battled cancer and stuff too. And
Well, I think she,
I think so.
wasn't she live in Australia or somewhere?
Yeah, she was out of the state, come out of USA.
Well, they finally recognized her, this year towards putting up a big statue. And of course, the Heritage Center's always been there. Well, it hadn't always been there, but it, I mean,
They added on.
they add on to it and
Well,
stuff.
that's the only way, it's gonna bring them money and stuff.
Right,
If you don't have someone that's been famous or someone,
right.
they're not gonna make that much money, people,
Well, before
it's
she,
gonna stop and look.
before she comes in here, has she found out anything?
Oh, I don't know, I didn't ask for anything, yet. Like I told you. I don't give it, and I don't wanna, you know,
Well, the only reason why I'm concerned is because of Annie.
cause what?
Annie,
Oh.
you know, because of her.
Yeah.
Worried about her. I don't think that she'd be crazy enough to move back to Ukraine, do you?
Oh, I don't know.
Wouldn't that be awful? A bomb ravaged country over there?
No, she ain't gonna move there, no. She's staying right here in the United States.
Okay.
That I do know. No, she won't do that. No.
Well, there ain't a day that goes by that I don't think about him, and I know you too. This has floored me. I didn't think that. I thought that whenever I lost my mama, that was bad. Dad, I expected for him to die. Danny died within 6 months before Dad died. And David would have died because of the Ridgeways taking him down on his own property. It just so happens the gun that he had a safety mechanism in it, because the Ridgeways took him down on his own property, him and Gail and Kelly, and his gun fell out of his pocket, and it landed on the ground. And whenever it hit the ground, the clip come out of it. Was that type of Glock that he had. Even though there was a bullet in the chamber, the gun still would not activate if the clip is out of the gun. And his daughter grabbed up the gun and handed it to Donnie. And Donnie was sitting there trying to pull the trigger, gonna kill David right in his own freaking driveway. I would have went to 3 funerals in less than 12 months. Danny, Dad, and then David.
Well, I always think when it's a shock and something happened, when somebody's sick, your mind preps in a way, things can happen. But when something suddenly happens, it's hard.
I know.
You can't.
There's no way to prepare for it.
Right.
No way. There's no way.
Can adjust to it, or some people like mine, it's hard to adjust.
You know, whenever that guy that was a preacher that was on TV that died, something Kirk,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? I listened to that funeral.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. I listened to that funeral, a lot of it, after he got assassinated. And one of them got up there talking and said, the hole will always be there.
Yeah.
The only thing that you can do is mature and grow around it and learn to live with it. But the hole will always be there.
Yeah, that's with your mom, your parents, your family.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying. I mean, I thought whenever David died, because that was the last of the Mohegans, I took that hard, real hard, especially the way that they was responding and reacting, especially whenever them people down there was partially responsible for David's death, because they was bringing unnecessary stress and agony into his life.
Oh, yeah.
Even though David and I was going to court and fighting the idiots down there that kept tormenting our lives. I don't know if you knew anything about it, if Nicholas told you anything about it, but
Yes, sir, sir.
after they wound up the final time, David said, whatever you do, don't take this in front of Tommy Moore. He said, go before a higher court. I said, well, if we go before a higher court, it's going to cost more money. I said, I don't really have the money. He said, well, I'll split it with you. We'd already talked about it. We'd already done went and hired an attorney in Union City by the name of Bruce Brown. And I'll be darned if David didn't die. Well, you know what? David thought enough of me that he took that money and he hid it just exactly where I told him to put it, just in case something ever happened to him. I said, if anything ever happened to you, you need to take that money and put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
I went to the refrigerator the day after he died. There was the $500 that he gotten out of his account. And I had to plead guilty to a charge pertaining to a stalking charge, even though the whole time it was the Ridgway family that was bringing that type of anxiety into not just my life, but his life too as well. And the only reason why I got a Class E felony was because they found out that I'd gotten in trouble before up in Kentucky with a stalking charge, even though they dropped it down to a misdemeanor. They don't care whenever they look at them books. They don't care what
They
prompt.
don't really care about the reason or what.
Right. They don't look at the particulars. They don't look at the
Yeah.
particulars. They could care less. They just look at you like, well, you're a how did they pull it? A habitual offender, and because
Yeah.
you're a habitual offender, I'm gonna give you a Class E felony. After all the stuff that I've been through, either in Kentucky, Oklahoma, Atlanta, Georgia. You know I had a problem in Atlanta too, right?
Yeah.
I come back home, and the next thing you know, they swab my mouth to do a DNA and give me a felony. My own people right there in Weakley County. And it was Martin, Tennessee. David Moore, that was the chief of police, that wound up hitting me in 2005. That basically costed my last marriage with Shirley. They wound up charging me with falsifying files. You know what falsifying files means in state Tennessee? It means you have the potential of being a homegrown terrorist. As in somebody that pulls down a fire alarm, or somebody that cried fire, fire, fire in the middle of a theater and started a panic. The thing about it was I wasn't in no theater and I didn't pull down no fire alarm. So how in the hell did they justify that? So that happened in 2005. The ordeal happened to me up in Kentucky in 2007. And then the ordeal happened to me out in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma in 2009. In other words, the snowball started in Weakley County and it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They was wanting to put me away. I tell you how bad they want to put me away. After I pleaded guilty to that charge, they put me on
Let them.
no. They put me on probation up there in Weakley County. I had to pay I think it was like $800 or something like that. But it wasn't just regular probation. It was controlled probation, where you got to go every month and they monitor you.
Well, that'd be like you're in jail and you get out of prison.
Supervised.
Yeah.
They call it supervised probation.
That's what I said. I ain't never heard of
I
it.
had never been on supervised probation out of all the close scrapes that I run into, and then I come back home, and now I'm on supervised probation. That means whenever you go before the probation officer at any given time, they can make you pee in a cup
Yep.
to see if you're going to pee dirty or not. Thing about it is, my charge wasn't related around a drug charge.
Yeah, but they still have a reason. So if you went and smoked dope or drink or done something, they can put you back in jail or something. That's the reason why they do it.
Well, this is my point. After David died, I wound up spending about 45 days in jail. I went ahead and pleaded guilty to a charge that I never should have pleaded guilty to. I had a camper at the time. It wasn't much, but it was my camper. I drug it across over at Camden, across the river over there, at Humphreys County, where Loretta Lynn has her dew ranch. And I set it up on the side of the river where a campsite was. called Pebble Island. I think it cost me like $1,800 or $1,500 for a whole year. Well, that gave me an opportunity of getting away from that area
Yeah.
and spending some time at the river and, you know, kind of healing back up from my brother's death, right? I wound up going in Waverly. This is how bad they wanted me. I go into Waverly into a doomsday prepping station, a business that sells all kind of doomsday stuff. And all I did was go in there and look around, and I talked to the owner of the place, pertaining to some of the stuff that I'd went through. Did you know that whenever I got home that following Sunday night, Monday morning, my probation officer was in front of my freaking door, knocking on my door with a deputy and her boss, her supervisor, telling me that if I didn't go to a psychiatric doctor to get a green light that I was okay towards being in the eyes of the public, that it would be considered a violation of probation and they would be coming back to my house picking me up and I'd be standing back in front of the judge. Vicki, they wanted to put me away. They wanted to do away with me. You know why? It wasn't because I'd ever done anything wrong. It wasn't because I'd ever threatened to do anything wrong. It's because they didn't want me to talk. They wanted to silence me. And what a better way to silence somebody is to declare them towards them being mentally unstable or a threat to society. And all it takes is a judge, a messed up judge, and a messed up doctor. Two people comes together and says, yeah, I think this person's a harm to himself and a harm to society, and guess what they can do to you? They can lock your ass away for the rest of your life. They can put you away. But yet and all, this is supposed to be the land of the free. Yet and all, we're supposed to have all these rights. Freedom of speech, freedom of religion. I've been attacked from day one since I stood out into the eyes of the public since 1989. Whenever me and Nicholas went to New York and Washington, D.C., and I took him on that little rendezvous up there, ever since then, they've been trying to stop me from me doing what I've been doing. And I think you can pretty well vouch for that, can't you?
Yeah.
Just over a sword? Just over somebody's religion? Secret Service come all the way from Washington, D.C., put a tail on me and wound up going to Grandma's house there in Kenton in front of my grandmother and mom, questioning them about me. What's all this about? Because that's whenever I had the 4 horses in the back end of the truck, and me and Nicholas went on our first crusade. They thought that they could stop me by making my life difficult. Well, they sure tried. Again and again and again. Lonnie,
Oh.
I guess you're going to spend Thanksgiving with them here. I was going to call you, and I thought, well, I need to go down here because I was already in Brownsville. I was going to contact your cousin. How is he kin to you, Vicki? He was on the Pierce side, right?
Who?
The guy that Nicholas worked for temporarily up at Brownsville.
Oh, I don't know.
Wasn't he Don Lovelace's son or something like that?
No, not son, brother or something. I don't know.
I was going to ask them if they had any pictures of Nicholas, and
I don't know.
I'm still going to call and ask them. Brundage in Denver, Colorado, probably got all kinds of pictures of him towards setting up big jobs. Because the way I understand it, he was on a high-rise job where they basically go up the side of the building. They attach it onto the side of the building. I think he went up about 25 or 30 floors. That was a really big job of doing something like that. You know good and well there'll be pictures of him doing stuff like that.
I don't know. Back then, a lot of people didn't take pictures and all that. It's just this new generation in the past couple of years because of the phones and all that.
Well, they say that's Generation X.
Yeah.
Supposed to be Generation X. You getting things worked out?
Little by little.
Yeah. Is your mother still here? Oh, she went back? Your daughter, she's back in school now, I guess?
Yeah. Comes some weekend.
Yeah. Well, at least your mother came and, tried to suffice you for a while. I'm pretty sure that helped you a little bit. And at least y'all have one another, you know what I'm saying? Because where I'm at up there in Weasley County, I'm basically still an outcast. I did go ahead, the property, since I'm talking to you right here, I did go ahead and allow my cousin to have, the way that property was, it was set up in two different lots. Lot number 1, lot number 2. Before David died, I didn't tell Jim Boy this, which was JW's son. I went through all the paperwork in that house, and I probably found a stack of freaking Playboy and Hustler books, probably stack them on the floor, probably that high. I burned all that junk. But anyways, I found a will that David had made towards willing his part over to Jim Boy. Well, me and Jim Boy, which is my cousin, he was the guy that was on a motorcycle that helped you out a little bit. Me and him had some words. And I basically done already marked him off. And I didn't tell him nothing. And I won't tell him nothing. The only other person that knowed about this will was Nicholas. Other than me talking to you right now about the will. Because Jim Boy done what he done towards coming down here. He come down here twice. First time he come to my house, and the second time he come all the way down here to Nicholas's funeral. I felt like that it was justifiable because that property originally belonged to his dad, and going ahead and signing that back over to him. And that's what I done. Now he's gonna take the old trailer that his dad lived in, and my dad lived in. My older brother was originally the one that brought it in there, and then David lived in it. David was the one that died in it, my younger brother. But he's gonna have all that stuff removed and dumped, and gonna build a concrete pad, and then he's gonna bring his RV down there, and then he's gonna build a big pole barn on his property like I built on my property down there. Because the pole barn, you ain't never been down there, I don't guess, but you've seen pictures of it, I'm sure, have you? You ain't never seen some of the pictures that I sent Nicholas? Do you get any of the pictures that I sent you today since Nicholas has passed away?
I mean, I'll look through them.
Yeah. Well, the big blue barn is the barn that my brother and I built before he died. We built that ourselves. During the time that they was agitating us and aggravating us and tormenting our lives. And not just once in a blue moon. I'm talking about they'd come by sometimes 6, 7, 8 times a day. And we ain't talking about just one family. We're talking about probably about a dozen families kicking up about me coming back there. They did not want me coming back to Northwest Tennessee. Like they was going to run me out of there. And the thing about it is, Lonnie, not only was my dad and mom born there, not only was their dad and mom born there, but I can go back 5 different generations to basically during the Davy Crockett era, during the time that it come a big earthquake down there in 1812. My people was already here after the Revolutionary War. And I had a a 5th great grandfather that fought in the Confederate War. He was in Alabama at the time, I don't know what part, but anyways, he got shot in the leg and it crippled him up real bad, and he finished out his time up in Union City because he was a cook cooked for the Confederate Army during that time. So to come back home and for them to torment our lives that way, knowing that we had such deep roots, it affected my brother. It affected him. It affected him so badly. He couldn't say. You know what his last words was before he actually died? He said, "The only way they're going to get me off this damn property is in a body bag." And you know what? He left in a body bag. He left in a body at the age of 51. He went to work that afternoon. He had a little spell. I'm really surprised he made it home, but thank God he made it home without killing nobody, and he never got to see the sunshine again because of all the unnecessary stress that they brought into our lives down there. Jim Boy knows. And I already done told Jim Boy, I said, Jim Boy, whenever you come down here, I said, don't be expecting for these people to roll out the red carpet for you. I said, if anything, they're liable to turn on you like they did me. All because of my religion. I ain't never been the bad guy. I don't rob banks. I don't rape little children. I don't make dope. I don't sell dope. I don't rob banks. I'm not the bad guy. All because of my religion. And really and truly, I'm kind of glad that Nicholas spent a great deal of his time down here with you, because he was going to be exposed to that type of torment down there. Because you know how his peers would present themselves to Nicholas? Oh, you're Juby's dad. I mean, you're Juby's son, ain't you? You're Juby's son. That's how they addressed him. He was Juby's son. Nicholas had already been into a fight with 4 or 5 of them down there. He done already whipped some tail down there. Nicholas wasn't one to fool with whenever it come to him being physically fit. Plus, he knew how to street fight, being raised up down here in Memphis. He could handle himself, you know it. But I'm so glad that he wasn't subjected to that type of ridicule, embarrassment, and etc., because I think that would have had a profound effect upon his life rather than him going in the direction that he did. Because whenever it's all said and done, was at the end of the day, I guess he know concrete business from top to bottom, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he knowed that like the back of his hand. Now, really, the only thing he'd ever been involved in, wasn't it? Other than working for his grandpa's and working for J.C. a little bit, doing plumbing work.
That was his profession. He loved his job, what he done, he loved his family, and he didn't.
He was a straight shooter, wasn't he? Huh?
Yep.
He learned his lesson, that little event that he got into at Weakley County. You know whose fault that was? Monica. Danny's ex-wife that married Danny.
I don't know.
She was the one
I
that
don't know, but
turned him onto those people that got that drugs.
I just don't dwell on the past, and
Well, it ain't a matter of dwelling on it. It's a matter of looking at it and analyzing
you
it.
look at it, you grow from it, and that's it. I don't go back. I try to go forward.
But I'm glad. What I'm trying to say, Vicky, I'm glad that he come down here and he established a life of his own.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that he finally settled down to the degree that he was working like 8 hours a day and coming home and enjoying his life, as far as enjoying his wife and enjoying his son. I'm glad that he got to go to Alaska. I'm glad that he went to Cancun. I'm glad that they went to Europe twice. I mean, I was proud of him, wasn't you?
Yeah.
I was proud of him. Wasn't like he was an alcoholic or a drug addict or something like that. I mean, or a low-life person wouldn't work or wouldn't take care of his family. He was a good man.
Yes, that's true.
And I don't think that would have happened if I would have made sure that he was raised up down there. So whenever it comes, I mean, I know that Memphis was going to be harsh on him, but he was doing okay. He could handle himself all right. But there is one question that I do want to ask you about. Whenever he got involved in that bicycle wreck,
Not bicycle.
a car hit him on a bicycle.
Yeah.
He said that he died.
Oh, I don't know. He never said nothing to me like that.
Did he die?
No. No.
How old was he? 12, 13?
Oh, yeah, 12, 13, 12 or 13, but no. No, I ain't never hear about it. No, it was.
And I'm sure you remember
And the
whenever,
doctor said something.
I'm sure you remember whenever you was carrying him, whenever we went through them backwaters.
Yeah.
You remember that over at Reeves? And also there was another dilemma that happened that I'm sure you remember with, I think it was Kathy, your sister, that tried to that did hit you in the stomach towards trying to make you have a miscarriage
Oh, I don't know.
up there in Dresden. Yeah, one of your sisters. I think it may not have been Kathy. It may have been Sherry. It was one of them. One more other thing I got to say to you, Vicki, and I'm glad you're sitting here listening to me in front of the family. You called me 13 days before Nicholas had that accident that I can prove to you on my phone that you was hyperventilating, you was all upset. I don't know what you seen or you had a dream or something, and you was concerned about Nicholas and concerned if a nuclear bomb blowed up, if World War III happened here, that what would happen to your son? What would happen to your son's family? And I had to calm you down. We talked for 32 minutes. I had to calm you down because you was thinking that something bad was going to happen. And I said, well, if something bad does happen, I said, me and Nicholas already done worked out.
I remember having that conversation.
Yes. Yes, I can prove to you on the phone. I can prove that you called me and we had about a 30-minute conversation. This is where I'm going with the conversation, Vicki. That was our warning. That was your mother tuition that was kicking in. That something was coming around the corner. You know, you can look at hindsight after it's all said and done with, but you called me basically almost 2 weeks to the date, very, very concerned about Nicholas, and you hadn't called me like in 5 years or something like that. In the age that we're getting one another, we just don't have a whole lot in common. We're talking to one another. I'm gonna throw the gum away.
That's it.
Well, don't hyperventilate. You don't want that. What's that dog thing? Biddy? Oh, really? Where's the dog again?
Right there.
Okay. This is something that we're all gonna have to adjust to.
Yeah.
Let's see again. Hey, young lady, you take care of yourself, okay? All right?
No, we're not.
Bye-bye. 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 I got my dog
I
outside.
don't want to. She's so shy.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Say bye-bye.
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 Did you get that little suit that I sent you for her?
Yeah,
That you wanted when you...
not yet.
If it's cold, you put it on her.
Yeah.
They're talking like we're gonna have a bad weather. You know? They're talking like we're gonna have lots of snow. All right?
Jackie, come on. I don't want you to fight. Come on.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Easy, easy. Come on. Y'all out. Okay, come on.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
don't want to.
They're hyperventilating.
Yeah.
See you, Vicki.
Have a good Thanksgiving.
You too.
Be good.
I don't know how to get out. I don't know how to get out.
Be careful, honey. Huh?
I can show you on the phone where you talk. That was my warning.
My phone's somewhere. I don't carry my phone around.
You called me
Oh, when?
about 13 days before.
Oh, I
Nicholas
don't
had an
remember
accident.
that. I don't remember that.
Put your thinking cap on. You remember?
Oh.
You was very, very concerned. I don't know if something upset you. I don't know if you thought a war was gonna break out, a nuclear bomb was gonna happen. I don't know. But you was almost hyperventilating. All right, y'all take care.
Alright, have a good one. Be careful being the holiday weekend.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I ain't getting back on the interstate. The interstate traffic is bumper to bumper.
That's what I know.
Bumper to bumper.